The next question we have for you is, what Caribbean lesson or philosophy could the world really use right now?
Ooh. Well, I'm building an exhibition based on several of them.
Okay.
So it's a matter of picking. I think one of them is there's an unsinkable spirit about Caribbean people. We adapt. We'll find a way. So you ban the drums, okay. There are plenty bamboo on this island, boy. Make some tambour bamboo. You know, wherever we are, we can start the party. You have a flat surface, I can beat that. we want to have fun. We believe, I think, that we weren't put on this earth to suffer. So we make sure that there is some way for us to have fun in any situation. That may be a double-edged sword in some instances, because sometimes we need to take things a bit more seriously. But I think that owning that joy is really important. And if more people were more committed to creating joy within the world, we'd have a much different world. So I think that's one of the biggest lessons. The resilience of Caribbean people, you know, I think we have that saying about, you know, struggling artists and stuff in the Caribbean, because so many of us are creative. I don't know, coming from Trinidad, I could say I don't know anywhere else that has so many creative people per square inch. It's just like, you go into a card shop and you can hear somebody next to you muttering, I ain't paying for that, I could make that. You know, and they probably can. They could probably make something even better. So as an artist in the Caribbean, it might be hard to make money because there's so many people around you, which comes back to that whole thing about all the more reason for you to be unique and do things your way, because then nobody else can do that.
Right.
But that creativity, I liken creativity to a core skill. It is resilience. It is the ability to come back. People can't put you in a corner if you can constantly think your way out of it. And that's Caribbean people. Constantly coming up. The things, you know, the government set a curfew. Okay, we still want to have a good time. We'll plan a curfew party. Arrive at 6, leave at 6 in the morning. We're serving dinner and breakfast. It's just like, they will just find a way around everything. Creativity is not just for the canvas. And I think that level of resilience and creativity and commitment to joy is definitely something, maybe not for curfews people, but when put to the right use, I mean, we've created Carnival.
Right. I've never been, but wow, you can always feel it. It's tangible. Like,
and I mean, when I say we created Carnival, I'm talking about the Caribbean version of Carnival.
Mm-hmm.
And it's originated in Trinidad and Tobago, and that was born out of resistance. And when you look at the traditional Carnival characters, like the reason I have this sign here, Jab Jab Terrace, Jab Jab is a corruption of the French word diable, which is devil, which is what they used to call some of the slaves. They just refer to them as devils. Diable. And I could see how if, you know, you don't speak French, which they didn't, and you're suddenly in this land, and, you know, your recreation of what that sounds like to you would easily be Jab Jab. But they created Jab Jab, which is a traditional character, almost as a kind of mimicry and a tongue-in-cheek, but at the same time a social commentary to say, well, yes, we are living a hellish existence, and let me show you how hellish this is. And so they created all these characters, and you have, you know, what do you call it, molasses devils or Jab Molassie. You have Jab Jab, which they whip themselves, and you be thinking to yourself, ooh, But yeah, there's all this history tied up in there, tied into the evolution of things and how that came to be, and carnival as a joyful resistance against oppression. And if we could come up with that, and that, I mean, the biggest thing for me that I take away from carnival is mental health care. Wow. When you have, I mean, so many people who have no access to mental health. Because if you think about freed slaves, these are traumatized people, PTSD. You can't come out of that system and not be traumatized.
Right.
And then you have people with PTSD raising children with PTSD because get raised by some. So what you have is just this generations and generations going. And what they realized is that nobody was going to look after them, and they created their own pressure valve to release some of that tension to stay sane, and that's carnival. So once a year, we let go of all the rules, all the societal norms, all the demands upon what is okay and what is not okay, what's acceptable, who's worthy of love and acceptance, who's not. And we're doing it our way. And we will take to the streets and we will jump up. You know, when you listen to the music and you think, why do they have to be so aggressive with it? And that is why, because it's like a frenzy that I have 2 days to be me.
Wow.
But that moment of freeness, that you know, this is like when that valve on the pressure cooker goes so it doesn't blow.
Right.
So yeah, just looking at those things alone, yeah.
I never knew that, Stacey. That's beautiful. Wow, that really opens up my eyes and makes me see the whole celebration in a completely different light. Wow. Okay, that's amazing.